All right, let me bring in the crew. Have you guys? I'll start with you, Eddie, because you're a huge college football fan. I know as well. Have you been following this on social media? Have you seen anything I mean, this is vintage college football. As crazy as college football games can be for those of us who are huge college football fans, I don't know that I've ever seen anything like the twists and turns of the last 24, 48 hours as a season is battled for. It's just flat out head spinning.
Yeah, and I don't know how much this influenced everything, if all of this was in the works already, but the Mid-American Conference announcing that they were not going to have a football season, I don't know if that helped the wheels turn anymore or not. And also the Big Ten, look, if they don't want to play football, it's up to their institutions if they want to make that decision as a collective, but trying to get everyone else on their side so they don't look so bad is a weasel move.
It totally is, and that's what they're trying to do. They are basically using the media to try to let everybody know what decision they are going to make to try to force other conferences to get in line so that they don't come in for complete criticism over their decision. Dub, you're a huge college football fan as well. Is this totally wild to you?
It is, and this is like the classic, everyone's mom tells you this when you're growing up. If your friends jumped off a bridge, would you do it? No.
Yes.
The Big Ten right now is trying to jump off a bridge, and they're trying to make everybody else follow suit, and I think it's ridiculous. If they don't want to play, that's fine, but leave everybody else out of it because, that's just not right or smart, in my opinion, to be like, oh, we don't want to play. Hey, SEC, ACC, Pac-12, Big 12, come on over on our side. Y'all shouldn't want to play either.
Yeah, right. It's like they don't have the stones to do the decision themselves, so they're trying to leak political pressure out on everybody else to say, oh, the season's totally done for. There's no way we can play. Might as well just go ahead and throw in the towel. And it's as if they're trying to create the environment that they want to exist by using the media to try to drive the cancellation of the sport. And the players and administrators are pushing back. Now, I think the thing that could take it to the next level today, and there are a lot of coaches that start off their morning listening to us, I think what could take it to the next level is college football coaches coming out and tweeting #we want to coach or we want to play and making it clear that they actually want to be able to be active here as well. Danny G, you ever see anything like it?
Never. I spent all day following this yesterday, and I think it's really clear that most of the players feel safest inside their football facilities.
That's right.
And so this just doesn't make a lot of sense. And a lot of the argument yesterday obviously was if the Big Ten folds, it's going to be a house of cards. And then the SEC fans jump in, which I love, saying, not so fast. We're going to play.
Yeah, well, the Big Ten is just trying to put pressure on everybody else. Let's go ahead, and we got a ton of people who want to weigh in, and you can ask questions. Look, this is a fluid situation, so there's no such thing, I think, as a bad question. I want to allow my audience out there, all 50 states, for people to weigh in and ask questions about this situation because it is so wild, and I believe we go to the VIP first, and it's somebody who's an Outkick VIP in Japan. Is that right, Danny G?
Yeah, military man Jacob in Japan.
Military man Jacob calling in from Japan. So, Jacob, first of all, thanks for the service. Secondly, are you following this story as wildly and crazily as everybody else is while serving overseas?
Yes, sir. Hey, Clay, love the show. I'm losing my mind over here. I just can't imagine, having to go through the fall without a college football season. My question is, because of Title IX, if they cancel the college football season in the fall, will they have to move all of the women's fall and winter sports to the spring to compensate for that?
Yeah, it's a smart question. I think it's not just college football. If they cancel college football, they are going to cancel all sports for all men and women all the way until the fall of 2021. That is, football is getting all the focal point, but there are going to be no college sports that are taking place, in my opinion. If college football gets shut down, they aren't just shutting down college football. It's an important point because college football is what the vast majority of us watch. But they will be shutting down college basketball, will potentially have, I believe likely have, a second straight season without March Madness. We're talking about basically 18 months of no college athletics. So from the point of when they shut down back in March all the way until August or September a year from now, there will be no college athletics that are able to be played by any men or any women at any college in America. And the reason why that would be the case is the environment is not going to change and suddenly become, quote unquote, safer or safe enough for these Big Ten presidents until there's a vaccine. And there's not going to be a vaccine that young, healthy college kids get until a long time from now. The college kids will probably be some of the last people to have access to a vaccine. And that's assuming we have a vaccine that works, which is still an uncertainty. And so this is a massively important battle that is being fought now, not just for college football players, but for any college athlete in America who hopes to play their sport between now and what I believe would likely be the fall of 2021, because I think best case scenario, all these college kids wouldn't get a vaccine until we get into the late spring or early summer of 2021. So we're talking about actually being able to play games not until 2021. Okay, so again, I'm taking your calls. A great call to start with us, 877-996-6369, fighting for college athletics and college football in particular. A lot of you want to weigh in as the battle is now publicly raging. We got another Outkick VIP up first. You can sign up for Outkick VIP at Outkick.com. Get a direct line into the radio program as well as access to a lot of great things, including an autographed copy of my book. Fred in Florida, what you got for us?
Hey, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Excellent.
Good. It was funny. I live here in South Florida near Florida Gulf Coast, and I don't think people who are realizing are the ones that are making the decisions. This affects a whole community shutting down college sports.
Yes.
From tennis, basketball, this is jobs, this is money, and I'm pretty sure some of the people making these decisions probably don't have to, rely on that paycheck. And it's just funny because the other thing is we are bowing down to a virus, and that's not what America is about. We should be like other countries, full straight ahead, getting our stuff done, being sensible but not being overbearing. And we're just laying down and listening to people telling us to stay home and not do anything. And it's just so un-American, like we're about. So thank you for the show and what you're saying, because I saw Twitter blowing up with all that stuff about college football the past few days, and I was like, what? So thank you for what you're doing and spreading the word, and I love being a VIP. It's really good content.
I appreciate you. Thanks for being an Outkick VIP. All right, Dub, and I think it's key. I think the two Outkick VIPs who have called in so far have pointed out, like, this is bigger than college football. It's about college athletics, but it's also about the larger way in which we are choosing to respond to a virus. Do we run and hide, or do we find sensible ways like every other sports league has and like many high school sports federations have? Do we find sensible ways that protect our kids but also allow them to live their lives? Who's up next, Dub?
We got Shane in New York.
Shane, what you got for me?
Clay, my man, you're probably too young enough to remember vintage Mike Tyson in 88, 86. I'm sure you've seen videos, but I don't know if you saw it live. That Spinks fight, 86. The electricity and AC that night, the 92-second knockout. If college football season is canceled, the Corona Bros become vintage Mike. Sad. I love your opening, the passion, effing guns blazing. I couldn't agree more. I'm a huge college football fan. It's my favorite sport. I love the fact that the Lawrence and some of the other players are calling for a union. Ironically, it seems like a union, from what it sounded like, would be the only thing that would save a season. The NCAA has made boatloads of cash over these amateurs, and now they don't want to pony up and make sure there's a safe, sound season. They just want to run for the hills. I'm looking forward to hearing the best governor in our country and former Yale baseball captain take on this? I'll leave you with a question, I guess, Clay, you being a lawman. Why, the NCAA is obviously scared of liability. Why don't they just have the players sign waivers for those that want to play?
Yeah, I think that's a fantastic question. So we are hoping to get Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. I always say hoping with any political figure because obviously things happen that are wildly, crazy in their schedules. But I've been talking to a lot of different governors and governor offices. And so let me just go ahead and put it out publicly because I know many people who work in those offices are listening to us right now. If your governor, because I think governors are very significant here, wants to come on and fight for college athletics existing not just in his state or her state, but also in the country, then you can slide into my DMs. I have open DMs at Clay Travis on Twitter, and we will get your governor lined up to come on and help to fight alongside of these college athletes who want to be able to play this fall and in the next spring and on throughout the rest of the season. The hashtag We Want to Play argument and attempt is trending now, and many college athletes and frankly their parents as well are having their voices heard. And look, I say this as a parent. My kids are starting back to school this week. My kids are playing sports this fall. Across the entire country, many of you are parents like I am, and you are ready for your kids. You're looking at the data. You're aware that your kids are under more danger, sadly, in a car driving to school than they are from the coronavirus. That is the truth. And so many of you out there are joining me in having your kids signed up for sports and putting your kids back in in-person schools. And that doesn't mean that you're not acknowledging in any way that the virus is out there. It just means that we have to get to the point where we live our lives without complete fear, and we have to make reasoned and intelligent choices. That might mean, hey, I'm not going to go visit great grandma at the nursing home, but it doesn't mean that you can't play baseball or basketball or football across the country. And whether that's Little League or all the way up to college athletics. This is important. This is an important battle that we are in the middle of right now. I want your voices to be heard. I'm using my radio show as a platform to advocate for college athletes being able to play everywhere. I'm opening it up as a public forum. The First Amendment is alive and well here. We need a robust and uninhibited debate about the return of college athletics and what is and what is not appropriate. We don't need college administrators hiding these university presidents behind closed doors, making decisions that impact the livelihoods and health of so many without a public debate.